My name is Alexis Mann, and I will be doing my presentation over the cognitive map as a method of physical and social space. Essentially, the cognitive map is just a mental picture of one's surroundings. It was the most popular representation founded by Edward C. Tolman. The cognitive map at this time, however, was thought of merely as a means of navigation, but Tolman didn't want his research to be so narrow. While a psychologist by the name of Clark Hull didn't share a lot of the same beliefs with Tolman, they both agreed on the fact that intervening variables can be used in regards to theories of learning, which was actually an idea proposed by Tolman. However, Tolman believed there was much more than drives and instincts when it came to the cognitive map. Hull was mainly concerned with drives and habits, while Tolman was concerned with expectations and hypotheses. He believed that both humans and animals, could form their own. He believed, for example, in a study by Tolman and Hosnick in 1930, they aimed to prove Hull's theory wrong. They aimed to prove rewards and behavior did not have to play such a big role in learning in order for learning to proceed. On the right is a maze used by Tolman and Hosnick in their study of latent learning. They used the majority of rats from their study and trained them and used food as a reward. However, they used a minority group of rats which received the same training. However, they did not receive food as a reward. And interesting enough, the findings for this experiment was that the reward-induced rats and the non-reward-induced rats both progressed at the same rate. So it backed the theory that rewards and behavior did not have to play a big role in learning. Cognitive maps are located in the hippocampus, which is a structure where learning and memory take place, and also play a major role. Past research suggests and supports that the cognitive map is not just a physical space, but also a social space. One proposed by Tavares and others in 2015. His findings parallel evidence that the hippocampus is essential and important to the relational organization, which in turn maps other influences like unrelated stimuli. In Tavares and others in the other study, they used regular people and asked them to imagine if they had moved to a new town and had to find a new job and a new home. They soon realized the characters per se were in a way creating their own cognitive maps. However, in contrast, a study by Wickenheiser and Reddish, 2014, indicated sequences of events can play a difficult role in processing information. So they realized that those in the experiments who were familiar and content with their own home tend to use a sequence of events in order to find their new jobs and homes. So they stayed within their comfort social space, is, I guess, a word to use for it. I believe the Tavares study and the participants mapping their own town can go along with the Tolman and Hosnick experiment with the rats. The participants were sort of going for the reward being their new job and new house. I believe this supports that adaptive behaviors can be supported by the cognitive map. Place cells in the brains of animals activate whenever an animal enters a familiar place. So I think that this kind of goes along with the people trying to map out their own maps and find a new job and a house. Participants could go any way that they wanted to go. And there is my references.